Hello, friends, and welcome into the Cowboys Report. I am your host, Tom Downey, here to break down the Dallas Cowboys needs with the 2021 NFL Draft just around the corner. We'll go position by position, beginning with the number one need. That is cornerback. Ironically, just like it was for me this time last year, corner, once again, is a pivotal area of focus for this Dallas Cowboys team. Now, it's not as bad as it could be. They did bring back Jourdan Lewis. They have Trevon Diggs. They have Anthony Brown. And that's about it. Maurice Candidate could compete for a nickel role, maybe. C.J. Goodwin is a solid special teamer. The Robinsons, Richard and Reggie, maybe they're a piece. Maybe Reggie Robinson. I'd love it if Reggie Robinson II was a piece, but fourth-round guy last year who did not actually play. So with where this Dallas Cowboys team is at the cornerback position, they simply must draft a corner early. Doesn't have to be in round one. If you don't want Surtain or Horn or they're gone, you could wait till round two. Round three, you probably don't want to wait that long either. But with the way this team is constructed, and with the way the draft is shaping up to be in terms of prospects and value at the corner position, Dallas has to, and I think they will, exit the early rounds of the draft with at least one new corner, hopefully a future starter on the outside opposite Trevon Diggs in this draft class. Now, I had corner as the answer to this question here, but you guys let me know what you think. What is the Cowboys' single biggest draft need? Is it corner or something else? Let me know what you guys are thinking down there in the comments section. We're going to stick in the secondary now. Number two, safety. And I'm not giving this one up. The secondary remains the number one area of focus for the Cowboys in the NFL Draft. Now, historically speaking, the Dallas Cowboys have not invested in the safety position early in the NFL Draft. I am hoping, though, that this changes this year. You have Donovan Wilson, who I think is ready to start at strong safety. Give him a chance to show he can be the guy. Keanu Neal, great insurance, also could play some linebacker. A need we'll get to later on. There's then DeMonte Casey on a cheap, very, very cheap one-year deal. And Darian Thompson, and really not much else. And I don't even want Thompson on this roster. Javon Curse, he might not make the team anyway. So free safety, that is the area I am focusing in. And I am asking everybody watching right now to send the energy. You see the emoji there, top of the screen. If you think this is the year that Dallas drafts a safety early, or you simply want it to be the year, I want you guys to type in me in the comment section. I am desperately hoping this is finally at long last the year. Maybe it's in round two or round three or whatever. But I hope that with Dan Quinn and a new regime offering more input, the Cowboys finally invest in the safety position. Number three, linebacker now. Oh, look, common trend, right? Defense early and often here. I wonder if it's more of a long-term need, but at minimum, you're probably aiming for one more rotation piece. I think you'll see Keanu Neal get some reps at both linebacker and safety. Either way, I'll list them here on the depth chart. That leaves Jalen Smith, Leighton Vander Esch, and two dudes we've never actually really seen play, Luke Gifford and Francis Bernard, as your typical, more prototype linebacker 4 and 5. That's not good enough. And frankly, I have long-term doubts about the futures of Jalen and LVE as it relates to the 2022 NFL Draft class. So depth, rotation piece now, potential starter even down the road are certainly areas of focus for this Dallas Cowboys team. I like day two in particular. There's some depth at the linebacker class. Don't take one at 10, take one on day two instead. And if you guys want to be smart and help the show as well, download the Newsbreak app at chatsports.com/CowboysNB. First off, you can search and follow the Cowboys Report on the Newsbreak app to get more videos there. But Newsbreak also offers great updates and information on local news and weather, what's going on in your community. App-based, right? It's location-based. And there's some sports content from Chat Sports as well. Help out the show by downloading the app at chatsports.com/CowboysNB. I'll put that link, by the way, in the comments and in the description. Let's go to the defensive line now for number 4 on my needs list. Now, yes, the Cowboys have added some players. Brett Urban, Carlos Watkins, one of whom I'd bet, my guess would be Watkins, doesn't even make the 53-man roster. But this is me sounding like a broken record once again. Run-stopping help is needed. Neville Gallimore, Tristan Hill, Antoine Woods, Brett Urban. If those are your top 4 defensive linemen, it's probably okay. I want to see a healthy Tristan Hill have a breakout year. Fingers crossed. I hope. I like Neville Gallimore. He's more like Tristan Hill coming out of Oklahoma. Woods can be a nice run stopper. Brett Urban's not like a one-two, but offers good length as a run stopper there. I still want one of those guys, though. Now, look, Fatty's only, may it rest in peace, is forever dead. But the rationale behind it remains. Look, if you can get Christian Barmore, late round 1, early round 2, okay, cool. The more likely outcome, maybe you draft a future 1 technique. I'll throw out one name, because I just studied him, about Bobby Brown out of Texas A&M. I'd like, in that 4th round range, to find a nice rotation piece on the defensive line, specifically to help me stop the run. All right, number 5 on my list, edge rusher for the Cowboys here. Look, I feel fine about the top 2 spots. I love me some DeMarcus Lawrence, and I feel good-ish about trusting Randy Gregory. The ones behind those 2, though, not feeling as confident. Terrell Basham, Dorrance Armstrong, Brandon Nye. Free and I, by the way. Throw that in the comments if you want. But I don't trust Basham or Nye or Armstrong to be my number 3 right now. Those are my 4 or 5s. I feel great. In this year's draft class, there is not an edge worth the number 10 overall pick. But there are a lot of guys that I got round 2 grades on. So one of them will be there at 44, and one might even be there in round 3. So if the Cowboys want another young pass rusher in the top 75, I am down. I think that is where you could find some value if you're the Cowboys. And maybe, by the way, they search for an outside-inside flex guy who starts defensive end on 1st and 2nd downs and then kicks inside on pass downs. Brett Urban could play that role, but I want someone with a little bit more juice to truly fill the Tyrone Crawford-sized hole on this team's defensive line. Now, what do you guys think is this team's bigger need right now? Is it defensive tackle or is it defensive end? Let me know what you guys think here in the comment section. What is the bigger need for Dallas? Now, we went through my top 5, and I believe that after the top 5, there is a drop-off as it relates to the Cowboys' need. The top 5, I'm searching for someone who can be an early, if not impact starter, a key role player. For the most part, this next batch of 5 needs is more focused on some depth and or future holes for the Cowboys to try to fill. At number 6, interior offensive line. I think you're fine as it relates to starters. Tyler Biadasz, Connor Williams, and of course this guy, Zach Martin. And if you want to make it McGovern over Williams, okay, fine. Those 2 should battle at left guard. If this is your starting healthy offensive line, guys, you are fine. Tyron Smith, Connor, Biadasz, Martin. You don't need 5 first-round picks on the offensive line. That's not how you need to build a team. But if you were to take a Penei Sewell, Rashawn Slater early, that would allow you to upgrade an offensive line in the short term and, in theory, have your left tackle on the roster long term as well. Now, I do think backup center/guard to replace Joe Looney could be an area of need as well. I think you got 3 guys to make your roster right now on the interior, the Connors and Tyler Biadasz. If you want to add another guy to compete as a backup center or maybe a guy with a lot of interior offensive line and just offensive line flex in general, I'm fine with that. But it's kind of a take one at 10 or maybe interior-wise, you just wait altogether. Now, we will break down every single pick that the Dallas Cowboys make in this year's NFL Draft here on the Dallas Cowboys Report. So don't miss out. Don't get caught napping. Hit that big red button and subscribe. It's youtube.com/CowboysTV. To receiver now. Remember how I mentioned future need? That's what this is here. In the short term, receivers not even really a need. You have, of course, Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, CeeDee Lamb, Cedric Wilson, and Noah Brown are all back on the team. Those are your top 5 receivers. That is fine. Of course, Wilson and Brown and Gallup will all be free agents after this year ends. So from that perspective, a future receiver could be added via the draft pick process. Now, I'm talking probably round 4, but there are always some good receivers who slide. So if the value's right, sure, go ahead and take one at some point. Let's get to number 8, offensive tackle. Now, I think some of you guys might have this need higher. And it would have been, except that in the immediate focus for this upcoming year, you're kind of stuffed already. You have Tyron Smith, Lael Collins, recently signed Ty Nsekhe, Terrence Steele, and Brandon Knight. Those are 5 guys who, although not all of them are ideal starters, have started games in the NFL. And Terrence Steele, after he got benched, came back late in the year, was passable. Brandon Knight, pre-injury, was passable. Now, you don't have a true, I don't think, Tyron Smith future long-term left tackle on this roster, which I am down to go try and search for. But you have 5 guys on your team already. So offensive tackle long-term, if you don't trust Tyron and Lael Collins, sure, that's an area of focus. In this immediate need world, you don't need one, you want one. So what is your confidence level in Tyron Smith and Lael Collins? Rate this for me in the comments section on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being you got no confidence if you think it's the team's number 1 need, and 10 being you think they're going to be great for the next 5 years.